Hey guys, my name's Nico French. I'm the content creator for Young Timers Garage in Melbourne. And in the spirit of the Cars and Creators event that we took a few cars to on the weekend with Live-Through Optics and shots by Tom, I thought I'd throw up a quick editing tutorial for the shot that we posted from the event of our Mclaren 650S LM with this hero of a kid here with his iPhone taking a shot of the car. What a legend. So we'll run all the way back to the start and show you what the shot looked like out of camera, which is quite dark. There it is. You can see I've underexposed the shot massively because I'm terrified about this white light here and the distraction that that's going to cause later on down the line. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to rush through to the start of the first part of the edit and bring up the masks. This is going to be the easiest way to run through what we've done. So first things first is I made a mask of the white light and inverted it. I did that so that I could bring up the brightness of the rest of the image, because obviously it was quite dark out of camera, without brightening that light and the reflection that was coming from it, because I do not want that taking away from the car or the kid as the model effectively, as the focus of the shot. Now we've got a mask for the car itself. We want to brighten that up a little bit and use that to add some clarity and make the car really pop out of the image, and make some adjustments purely to that so that it's got that extra bit of oomph over everything else around it. I then made a mask of the car and inverted it so I had the rest of the shot, and then cut the ground off of one and the sky off of the other. So I obviously am left with everything but the car on the ground and everything but the car in the sky. So we effectively have three layers that we're working with here. Car itself, the sky, the city, and the ground. That's our three elements. We'll continue to adjust all of them individually, and we'll keep coming back to them to make sure they all still match up with each other and they don't look out of place. There's nothing worse than a car that's been shot in the environment looking like it's been photoshopped in because someone's just masked it, up the exposure, there you go, boom, now the car pops, but the tires don't match the road and it just looks horrible. And then we've got a final a lazy radial mask here to bring some brightness onto our kid. He's going to be sort of the secondary subject of the shot and the story of the shot. At this point, I use my favorite button in Lightroom, the AI denoise, and now it's just called denoise. I'll find it here. It is noise reduction denoise. This button is a cheat code. It just takes the quality of your image and sends it sky high. Takes 2 seconds. You press one button. It's just, people used to spend hours trying to do what this button does. It's magic. So we jump across to the next part of the edit here, going down to look like when it came out of the denoise. So this is back looking the way it should. And you can see we've got all of the masks again, and we're going to make some further changes to them. Looking at our history here, there is a lot of color and calibration changes. Originally, I wanted to make the image very blue, like a North Borders shot, so I can find one of those. There you go. That's looking quite blue there. But you can see how blue it makes the car. The car is grey. The car is very much grey. And to the human eye on the night, the car looked grey. It did not look blue like that. So I ended up using our mask of the car here and a few radial masks on the car to bring some warmth back and make the car look grey again, while keeping that blue vibe in the rest of the image and balancing that out. And that starts to look a little bit like that's starting to get there. We take a little bit more blue out of the car. There we go. So at that point, the image has got that blue vibe going to it. The city is blue. Some of the foreground here that what was neutral colors is now blue, but our car, which has those tints of blue on it to make it match the shot, is back to looking grey the way it should. My list of masks on the right here is getting quite substantial, so I'll quickly run through them all again. So we've still got our car, we've still got our sky, we've still got our ground layers. We've still got our little subject hero man here. We've also got just a standard gradient filter on the bottom to darken that down a bit, add some more clarity, get that looking like a real glassy reflection at the bottom there. And here's our individual radial masks on the car. This one was because the side of the car was looking a little bit too warm compared to the rest of the car, so we cooled that back off a bit. And then we've got the brakes and the Le Mans sticker, because when we made the rest of the image blue, our orange brakes lost all of their fizz, their pizzazz. So we had to bring up the luminance, bring up the saturation on those to get them back to looking like the orange that they should have been. We've also got this tiny little one on the front here because the front of the car was quite dark. So we've brightened that up. The car looks the way it should again. Lots more color changes, as you can see on the right here. Adjusting those masks, seeing if we can get a little bit more out of the front of the car. Lots of tiny little changes and one crop angle to finish. The last big notable change that I made in this lot was deciding to bring yellow back into the image. Up until this point, I was convinced that it was going to be a North Borders blue image. Everything was going to be blue. Then I realized the car didn't work because the car looking blue looked like crap. So I had to fix the car. And then I decided, why not let's just pump up the yellows and oranges and see what happens. So we did that, and oh my god, it worked. There you go. That's the vibe of the image coming together very well. It ties in the background, the fencing here, along with the kid's hat and his shirt, the ground, and the brakes. So now we've got this great blue-yellow vibe going. Absolutely fantastic. And that's pretty much how we finish off this part of the edit. The final step was to take, if we scroll all the way across here, a dark layer of just the headlights, jump across into Photoshop and mask that in on top of the car so that we go from, is this going to show us? No, it's not. So we go from this with no headlights to this with headlights. From here, what do? We make a couple more brief color changes. We make sure that the kid isn't popping too much, too oversaturated. Make sure that he fits the environment. The car's definitely looking like it fits your motor. It's got enough blue that it fits its blue surroundings without ruining that really nice grey that the car actually is in real life. And a little bit of brightness to finish. And there we go. That's our final result. Pretty happy with that. And edit took half an hour. You could see how many steps there was and how many different iterations of the image we went through, but we got there in the end and pretty happy with it.